Little dead stick minnow action. First thing in the morning. 10:45. But walleye acquired. Finally got some sub 60 water. Well, 60 on the nose, it says right now, but I've seen as low as 59.5. Out here doing a little scouting. Found some fishes in a little different part of the lake. No idea what this video is going to be today. That fish was in 42 feet of water, so I know I'm keeping that fish. When fish continue to be in 40 some feet of water, it makes filming videos rather challenging because you can only catch 5. And then I'm done, unless I can find shallower ones, which has been a chore. I found a bunch of fish here on a nice piece of structure that's basically got a really clean shelf where I can sit off in 40 feet of water and run the whole thing up into the wind. There are a lot of times where I have much more of a plan and a structure for a video, and the bite has been so sporadic and unpatterned for the most part. Like every once in a while you get into a good pot of fish on a good day that are feeding and you get them all on jigging wraps, finishers, whatever it is. But the lake on a whole is very unpredictable right now. So I don't have a plan. I don't have a theme. We're just fishing. Maybe one will emerge as we fish. Well, I'm waiting for my minnow to fall to the bottom back there. I might as well dive bomb this one. I did catch a drum earlier doing that. Let it fall to the bottom, close the bail, went to rip it, and it was already on. I thought, ooh, here we go. Drum. That was a different spot back there. I'd like to just, drop something down at some point and be surprised by a really quick bite and then go, oh, maybe that's a thing. And then do it again and get another bite and go, okay, that's 2. And then a couple casts later, get another bite. Okay. That's what it is. It's a jigging wrap. It's a jig and a minnow pitching. It's a finisher. There's just not enough data points to collect right now. I'm a puzzle person. I'm a pattern person. And right now it's just like go to a spot with fish and throw a bunch of stuff and maybe you get one. For some reason my camera decided to shut off on me. I don't understand that. But what I was saying was it's not giving me a pattern. Oh, are you on? Sure you are. Sure you are. I think it's a minnow thing today, maybe. That's just not a very big fish. Oh no, am I gonna have to keep a dink? Oh, it's not even a walleye. It's a baby smallmouth. A couple of them chasing bait down there, so I'm gonna drop the jigging wrap quick. Usually once it gets to fall time, if I see them cruising around bait balls down there, jigging wraps become very effective. Fired up the old Mega Live just to see how fish are responding to things. The first fish that I threw a jigging wrap at bolted. This one's following it but not biting it. Try throwing a finisher over there. No bites, pitching the minnow. Still not. Another dead stick bite. Oh wait. Another dead stick bite. Not a very big fish. Huh. It's the only 2 walleyes we got, though. 2/3 of a way to a limit. Slowly but surely. Did that other fish respond to this? Doesn't seem to be super interested. Just dead sticking minnows. Get out the slip bobbers. Finally got one to bite the jigging wrap under the boat. Feels like maybe the nicest fish we've had on today. And it would be the 3rd on this spot. Decent Walter. Not huge, but below, in front of the gill plate. A keepable fish nonetheless. That's a pretty scrawny 15-incher. Ooh. Maybe let's move and explore something else since we only have 2 more fish to play with. If any luck, we can find shallower ones, but I don't know how I feel about that. Pretty low color there. As I was on my way out, the further I would go, the more and more fish I would see along the shelf. It's hard to drive by 30 fish. If we catch 2 more, we're done. Then what do we do? Drive around graphing? I got a really lazy biter pitching a jig through that zone. So there's kind of a new pattern. Jig pitching. Nicer fish, worth keeping anyway. That's number 4. I don't know, maybe we just pitch another jig. If we get 5, we clean up, and then we go graphing. I don't know what else to do. Just a pickup off the bottom. I should have just turned on that camera because I had a feeling I was going to be setting a hook. We had a bite on the first 2 casts. We see if we can get one on the third. Oh, there's another one. Did you feel that? What do they say? The last fish is always the toughest. It's a new day. Working our way. 58.5 degrees. Getting a little colder. Almost freezing temps last night. Not quite, I don't think. 34 maybe. Still pretty early. 9:25. Mark a couple nice fish here. See if I can get a first cast thing going. Seems like no. That seems like a no so far. Okay, so I turned off the camera and I was still on the first cast. And as I went to reel up my line, I literally just started cranking to pull in, and he grabbed it on the way up in 24 feet of water. Maybe he followed it in. I marked the fish in like 28. The times where you feel like you should leave your camera on for 8 more seconds. I haven't had a chance to release fish for so freaking long. Let's let that one go. Found some fish hanging here off this shelf at a little after 10:30. Like every time I would weave in and off the shelf, I would mark 1 or 2. So that tells me there's quite a few of them hanging on the shelf. If every time you run on or off, you see something. Got that one. Nice. Must still be kind of a jigging wrap bite here. That's a nice fish. I think we can flip it on in. 35 feet. We'll make a taco out of that fat boy. I cast the minnow out before I casted the jigging wrap, so that's sitting down there. We'll work that. See if we can get a minnow bite. Just like it's supposed to be. You mark fish, and if they're biting, you get 1 first cast. Now I want to see if I can get 2 on a spot. Oh! Felt like a good tick, but guess he didn't have the whole thing. Okay. Something happening here. And the interesting thing with this spot is like I'm fishing the back side of the shelf as it faces the wind. So it's like the wind's pushing over the shelf and the fish are hanging on the back side. Whether they're like hiding out of the little bit of current that creates, or maybe it's pushing bait fish over top of the shelf. I don't know that for a fact, but probably could be one of those 2 things. Oh, there it is again. But he's not on there. Oh, now he might be. Now he dropped it again. Oh, he picked it up again. 3rd time's a charm. Got him. Wow, that fish messed with it forever. For freaking ever. Until he finally decided to eat the whole thing. We got a little something going here. Whew. Not a bad willy. Jigging wraps, minnows, biting multiple things. That's a good sign. And I'm fishing here on the far, far east end of Sakakawea. Like the highway's right over there. And the numbers on this side of the lake were not great the last couple of years. And Game and Fish has been doing a lot of stocking over here for like 3 years. I don't think they stocked this spring, but they did last spring. And I think those fish are finally starting to get of catchable size. So there's just a ton of fat sized fish in this area. When I fished it here in the summer, it was kind of slow, like in June and most of July, but towards the end of July and then into August, I was able to catch a ton of fish here, just none of them a lot bigger than that for the most part. Every once in a while, maybe you get an 18 or a 20 or a 22, but you give that another year, that 15-incher goes to 17 or something, and next thing you know, you got a bunch of 17, 18, 19-inchers running around. That's kind of fun, presuming they stick around. The previous few years, fish were, I was even catching tag fish that were tagged spawning around here, and then ended up being caught like 60 miles west a couple months later. So for some reason they just spawned here and got out of Dodge. So I don't know if that'll continue. These smaller fish that were stocked here so far have stuck around, so that's a positive thing. As are the signs I'm getting on this spot. Like maybe we're just starting to get cold enough where fish are thinking about feeding a little bit. 3 in the box at 10:41. That was the weirdest bite ever. Just about took the rod out of my hand. Kind of feeling like it might be a big catfish. Oh no, it's a walleye that ran into the jig. A snagged walleye with the jig. I'm gonna say that's probably behind the gill plate. Either way, it's snagged. I know it's 35 feet of water, but I don't know how legal that is. He just swam right into the jig and just took off with it, I think, because all of a sudden, here we go. We kind of caught 4 now. Got one out on the jig and wrap. I went back to the start of this shelf I was working because I just wasn't seeing enough action. So I thought maybe those fish, with a little time, would perk back up and be willing to bite again. That is, oh wow, he's head shaking like crazy down there. That's a little bigger fish than what we've caught. That one was out fairly deep. I'm in 32, but I was pitching sideways, so it's probably 35 over there. I actually felt that one biter too. Is that maybe a ½ inch longer than the rest? I don't know. Maybe. I saw like 5 of them out there. Maybe I can get 2. I think more of the fish are kind of pushing off now. That earlier morning wind we had is kind of petered out and stuff, so maybe they're already kind of sliding a little bit closer to that ledge. They were a little closer, so there's like a big ledge down there that drops from 35 to 45, and then over here there's another sharp breaking piece of structure where it goes from like 30 to 15 really quick. They were closer to this edge before, and now they're pushing further to that edge, it looks like, and also not biting as well. Oh, jeez. Holy crap. Wow. I mean, maybe it's a snagged fish, but I don't think so. It felt like just a crunch bite. Holy mama. It's not moving a lot, though. Oh, it might just be a snagged one. Make a run. Nope. Side swipe. I mean, he tried to bite it. He just ran into the side of it. Dang it. Wishful thinking. Oh, wish I could eat this one. It's probably in pain, but that is not in front of the gill plate. Godspeed, little boy. Got into an area where I'm seeing fewer fish, but decent looking marks, so I'm fired up the Mega Live help me actually track them down and make sure I'm getting the cast in the right spot. So like, if I'm in a spot where I'm seeing like, you know, good numbers off a shelf or something like we were, I don't really see a need, because I kind of know I'm around fish. But when they're a little more sparse, it is kind of nice to have this and pinpoint them. This guy's just sitting on the bottom looking at it. Then I at least know the cast is worthwhile, especially if you're jig wrapping and you don't want to like ruin your shoulder just blind casting all the time. You can just see a fish and make sure you throw at it and see if they engage and make it worth your time. Nice. That one was on the jig and minnow. Couldn't get him to take the jig and wrap. Oh, it's a smallie though. Maybe these over here are walleyes. What about this one? That feels like it could be a wally. We got a walleye. Nice. Nice. Numero 7. Just cookie cutters. Cookie a cutter. Back on the jig and minnow bite though, that's fun. Drop it into some a little ahead of the boat, closer to this rock pile, which I think are probably the smallmouth, but I wanted to catch one anyway. I don't know. Might not be a smallie. Now it's going surface. No, it's a walleye. A walleye going towards the surface. That one's almost releasable territory, but I'm guessing it's 30 feet up there. Suppose maybe that's pushing it a little bit. I don't know. You know what? Why don't we just make a taco out of that one? Call that number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's a wrap for today. Move in the right direction. An improved bite. Definitely an improved jig and minnow bite. Get a bait on a fish's head and they bite right away in that scenario.
Here we go with the same old thing. Like I said something just to ruin your mood and clip your